Hey developers! Today we're going to look at how to get a job in web development by using personal branding and creating your own website. So I'm going to talk about some tips and tricks on how to do that, what tools, what websites to use, and also if you stick all the way to the end, I might have a special offer, so stay tuned. Let's check it out. All right, so here is my website, and I created this a couple of years ago because I was actually taking a class in school where I had to create a blog. So I decided to create my website program with Erik.com, and I had no idea what I was doing. And this is actually more closer to 3 years ago. I created a few other websites, a few other blogs before that, but none of them really took off. So what I did is I went to one of these open source projects called Ghost, and they were creating a really slimmed down CMS, a content management system. So I decided to give it a shot to see how it would go. And it was okay, but I will fully admit that I've had some problems with Ghost just because they don't have the plugin architecture that WordPress and some other websites have. So today I'm actually going to recommend a different type of blogging platform. But it's good to know where I came from, so I just wanted to be upfront. This is my first website. I really haven't updated it in a long time, but this is what it is. Now, what I want to show you guys today is a way to get started blogging. And the reason why I think this is so important is when I first started blogging, I was able to create an article. I created about 1 or 2 a week. And by the end of the first year blogging, I was almost doing 3 a week. And from there, I got offers to do books. I got job offers. I built somewhat of a reputation in the space I was in, the niches I was talking about. So it was definitely really powerful for me to do this, and also got me to thinking about like what else I can do. And now I'm doing YouTube videos, and I'm also writing another book. And I think a lot of this was because I put myself out there. I was willing to do blogging. I was really willing to do YouTube. So I think this is definitely one way to go. Now, it's not the quickest way to go, of course. If you want something really, really quick, then you may need to, there might be other strategies involved. But this is one way to kind of slowly build up your authority. And also just blogging and writing about something, you learn things so much quicker and faster. If you're a new developer, try to take something you've learned and write it out in a tutorial so you can teach someone else. You'll find that you'll learn it much quicker. So this is what I did. And see, my last one is how to set up Vue.js with JSX. I didn't know how to do that. I wrote a tutorial on it and really helped me learn. So what I want you guys to do, if you're following along here and you're interested in creating a blog, or you just kind of want to know what to do, and you're a developer, of course, and maybe even if you're not a developer, this will still be handy for you. So I went ahead, and there's a link below to a link to InMotion Hosting. And the reason I like InMotion Hosting, you may have heard of Bluehost, you may have heard of GoDaddy and a few other websites like that. There is 1 or 2 companies that own all those websites, honestly. InMotion Hosting is not one of them. It's not owned by this huge conglomerate that gobbles up all these web hosting companies. They're a solid company. From what I've dealt with, I've had good customer service. Actually, just tonight I had to call customer service because I realized I made a mistake on the domain. So I want to say this is a solid web hosting provider. Just to get this out of the way, this is an affiliate link. I do get a couple bucks if you sign up, more than a few bucks. But I'm not just doing it for that reason. I've tested it out. I've used it. It's great. I would recommend it. And I don't recommend anything I don't trust. And I definitely trust these guys. So what you want to do is click on that link that's in the bottom here in the description. And that will bring you up to the InMotion Hosting website. And if you don't know, when you're first starting off and you're trying to create this personal brand or blogging, you want to have a domain name, and you want the domain name to be related to you. So the easy way to do it is to figure out your first last name. Like my name's Erik Hanchett. I own erikhanchett.com. Or you can be a little more clever. I did programwitheric.com because I wanted people to think, well, if you're going to learn with me, you're programming with me. Whatever you come up with, try to make it professional. Probably the first time you want to stick with your name. If it's a common name, you may need to change that up. So just click on, actually I would go to web hosting first, click on web hosting, and then go to business hosting. And then here is what it is. So this is super, super duper cheap. It's like $5 a month. And I think that's if you get it for 3 years. If you pay 3 years up front, you can do 2 years or 1 year. I would at least do 2 or 3 to commit to it. It's not that expensive and you save money. So if you do 2 years, it'll bring up this secure checkout form for you. And it'll just take a moment to load. And you can see here, you can pay $239. You'll get the discount. And it comes up to $5.49 a month. The reason, by the way, the reason I picked this middle option, it's the top seller. It's you get 50% off, and if you look at it, you can see here that right here, down here, you can see you get up to 50 different MySQL and Postgres databases, get unlimited disk space, and you can have up to 6 websites supported. So that's really cool, especially if you're a developer and you want to do some testing out. You may want to create multiple websites. So this gives you the option to do that, of course. And you get all the free advertising, some e-commerce ready support. It has all the basics. Park domains, you can get subdomains. So really, you want to probably choose a little bit more than the cheapest, just in my opinion. So once you click on that, it'll bring up this, and you'll choose which data center you want, LA or Washington, depending on where you want. You can also choose to have it auto-install WordPress. Now, like I said, I started off with Ghost, but I would recommend WordPress. It's so simple to use. There's so many thousands of plugins in there, and it's continuously being updated, and InMotion Hosting is one of those that'll prompt you if there's a newer update for WordPress. So I would choose install WordPress. And then it'll ask you for your domain name. And like I said, stick with the domain name, something that's related to you. Probably your first last name is a pretty good name. So jsmith323. And you can search for it. If you already own the domain, you bought it from somewhere else, you can do it here. I think InMotion Hosting is a fine domain host. And then you just add to cart, continue, and it'll ask you if you want to protect your personal information with domain privacy. So I would pick the domain name and pay for the privacy. It's worth it just in case someone looks you up. It's only $10. I think it's well worth it. And once you continue here, you're going to go ahead and put your new customer information in here. So put your email address, and then it'll walk you step by step through the rest of it, get your credit card information. I won't show that, but that's how it works. And after you do all that, you will get some emails. So I'll go ahead and show you my emails. Hopefully I won't show you any personal information, but I'm going to try not to. So here is the website I created. And what will happen is after you go through this procedure and you put in your email address and put in your credit card information and you buy and you purchase the account, you'll get this welcome to InMotion Hosting page. And I may have changed some of the names here, so don't worry about that. But you'll get the login to your account management panel. And inside your account management panel, you're going to have a cPanel, and if you don't know what cPanel is, it's just a panel. You can organize all your data. You can turn on SSH. That's one of the first things I did, which means I can SSH into the account, and I can make updates that way. But it has also kind of all the normal things you would expect from a domain web host, which means you can FTP files. They have like a web FTP program. You're going to get PHP MyAdmin. You're going to get all that stuff. And so you can click there and you can set your password to log into your account. Now there is some WordPress details it'll give to you right when you sign up. And I'm not going to show it to you, but at the bottom it says log into your dashboard, and it has all the information for your website. So once the domain gets registered, and you should be able to almost right away log into your domain. And then you also receive another email which will have a domain verification required, which will require you to confirm your domain. You'll just need to click on this link. I actually didn't do this when I first got this account, so my domain was on hold and then it stopped working. So definitely do this step. So after you fill out all this information and you sign up and you get your login information from this email, you can then go to your log, your domain, and you should see the basic WordPress setup. It's not going to have anything on there the first time you log in. It just says something like my blog. And from there, you can just go in to click my blog and you can just start configuring it. So you can look at the plugins here. I would activate your Akismet account so you don't have to worry about spam. I think there's a free one. You can get a free account number if you're non-commercial. I would do that right away because if you do have any comments on your blog, you're going to get millions. And then I guess it comes up with the Hello Dolly. So at this point, this is where you'd want to start installing some plugins. So you're probably thinking like, what plugin should I install since I'm a developer and I want to write tutorials? Well, I did find an article called The Top and My Favorite Syntax Highlighting WordPress Plugins. And they mentioned, and I'll put this in the links below. There's the Crayon Syntax Highlighter, the Syntax Highlighter Evolved, and it just goes on and on. So there's plenty of highlighting. I think you can also use a special tag inside your WordPress for code. I'll have to look that up, but I don't know off the top of my head. And then I just searched for syntax highlighting WordPress.org. By the way, if you ever need to get plugins for your WordPress, I would go to WordPress.org and start searching there. I would look for syntax highlighting for it, and also I would look for an SEO plugin. Some of the most popular is Yoast SEO. I mean, pretty much everyone does that. I've used all-in-one SEO too, but Yoast is pretty powerful. It kind of tells you exactly what you need to do to like make your blog articles SEO friendly. So that's just 2 quick tips there. I could make a whole video on what plugins you should use, but I'm going to leave it there on just those 2. And that's pretty much it. So I would also, unless you were a graphics designer by nature, I would go to something like ThemeForest, and I would look at the premium WordPress themes from ThemeForest and look at something that works for you. I mean, there's no right answer here, but there's a ton of them on here. I guess you could put like programmer. You could see some people's themes, and you're going to probably spend like $20-30 on it, but it's well worth it, especially if you don't want to spend hours kind of designing your whole WordPress website. So yeah, so make sure you install the Yoast plugin. Make sure you get some syntax highlighter. If you didn't want to do the syntax highlighting, a lot of people also just embed their code into the WordPress somehow. There, you can, on GitHub, you can create GitHub like snippets and copy and paste those in. A lot of people do that. So you have a lot of choices what you want to do, and eventually you might have too many plugins installed, which can lead to things being a little slow. Now, I wouldn't really too much worry about the speed of your website if you're just starting off and you're just trying to create a blog. This is not really, I mean, if you want to jump up, I'd look at the VPS options with a little bit more RAM, a little bit more speed, and then maybe build your whole WordPress box by yourself, but then you have to do some admin of it. So that's just a couple of things to think about. Thank you so much for watching. If you like these type of videos, I can create another one on what plugins you should use, some more tips on blogging. I've blogged for many years. How to structure your blogs from the titles, how to do call to actions in them, how to get engagement, how to add comments. Those are all really important things because the first step is to create your blog, but that is just the first step. There's many other things you need to do to actually be successful if you want to be a developer and blog in this world. So thank you so much. I did mention a special giveaway. This might be the last chance you can get in, but either tomorrow or Wednesday, I am giving a 1-year free membership to the good people at Frontend Masters, and I'll include a link for them in the show notes below. And if you subscribe to my email list, I'll put a link below for that. I'll get you into the drawing, but you only have a couple more days left. And if you do end up creating a blog from one of these, definitely tweet me at ErikCH. Try to leave a comment on this blog or thread. Let me know that you created one, and I will do some free promotion of you. I'll tweet you out. I'll let you know. Maybe I'll do a video on it. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Click that subscribe button. Take care. Bye.